Before I start this, what's the definition of hater? Yeah, that sounds about right. I played roughly 8 hours. No, less time than that, actually. About 7 hours of Call of Duty. Because I couldn't bear playing longer than, I want to say, 14. I was planning on playing the 2 days that was out for beta, open beta, but I literally couldn't bear it. It's not because the game was absolutely unplayable or just not enjoyable in the first place. The game was fun for the most part. It played really well. The gameplay and how it played, really good. There was just a couple bugs here and there with the quality of like too many particle effects, and then when you go into the screen for layout, you basically get flashed like you're about to go in like a spastic shock because you're about to have a seizure. But my points of like, so basically I just want to talk about how I didn't like the game, or it just wasn't worth the money they're asking for, aka $70 for a game that no one's, barely anybody's gonna be playing the campaign. Yeah, the first Modern Warfare remake was really good for campaign wise. Like, it was a very interesting and new feel for Call of Duty campaigns just because it had a darker feel. But I don't, like, even if the campaign's really good for Call of Duty, $70 is not worth. $70 is not worth maybe like 6 hours of content. And then we go into the multiplayer aspect where it normally thrives on Call of Duty. That's the main reason why people actually spend $60 or now $70 to play the game, which I find ridiculous because you're basically just sitting there and just mindlessly playing a game that has almost zero skill base ever. And I know some are gonna be like, you're skill based, you have to aim and shoot people. Most of them are using aim assist with the controllers, and then all you really have to do is press a couple buttons and you're moving around. And this Call of Duty actually removed a lot of skill based stuff. Example, they have dolphin diving and sliding in this game, but none of them are for movement based. There is no movement based abilities in this game anymore, and I think that kind of ruins Call of Duty for me. For me specifically, because I think that Call of Duty is movement based and gun skill, not just gun skill, and they're basically just making a gun skill. I mean, besides the case of being able to drop shot every single 2 seconds, that's the only skill-based thing I could see. Besides, and also jumping around corners. Jump shotting is always going to be a thing on Call of Duty, and if they remove it, there's going to be more cries than me crying about sliding. My main problem with Call of Duty is the same thing that most Call of Duties are, for me at least, is that there's only 2 really good guns, and that's like the MP5 variant and also the M4 on this game, and those are stupid broken guns. If you get in a gunfight with like any gun that you're trying to basically upgrade to see if it's decent, you're gonna lose every single gunfight. And it's every Call of Duty that's like that. Just, you see a bunch of sweaty people going 70-4 with an M4 and be like, I'm so good at this game, and they don't understand that the gun's the thing that's OP, not the player. Talking about guns, this game put in the gunsmith again. Well, not again, but like basically the same thing they normally do, but this time it's more attachments. I'm getting so tired of doing trigonometry to figure out if this gun's gonna have recoil or not. I shouldn't have to do mathematics to play a brain dead game like Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty is the pinnacle of casual games. You just, you get home from school, work, anything, and you're like, I want to play some Call of Duty, like with friends or whatever, and you just vibe out and you just play. I don't foresee the game, like, I don't believe the game should have such a in-depth, I am going to be putting this attachment on here, this attachment on this, for I can have 0 recoil and I can just shoot straight from a 10-mile radius.
And the gun kills with 2 bullets instead of 4.
And what? There's no reason. The only thing that really added new on here is different gun names, of course, and then also different throwables, like the drillin' that you see in the trailer. It just basically drills through the walls and everything and makes a big explosion, which is a really neat concept. I like that. But there's literally nothing new besides revamped maps. But in my eyes, I think the game was very boring. There was nothing new or, in my opinion, fun in the game. And what I mean by fun is like something new that can actually like make me still intrigued in coming back into the game. Because the game is still the same old Call of Duty. And I know a lot of people love the kind of idea of same old Call of Duty. But I play games for fun and not a sweaty competitive atmosphere. And I think you can do both for the most part, for a fun and sweaty. And Call of Duty just has a sweaty atmosphere that's just super grindy and just not enjoyable to play or grind, in my opinion. So I know Activision or Infinity Ward's gonna be crying in their seat that they lost $70 for me, you know, totally. When they're a multi-million-dollar company, billion maybe actually. I don't even look at their net worth anymore because it makes me sick. But now they can feel that they lost $70 from me. And it's just another Call of Duty I actually give up on. And it's just another COD game that came out this year that I'm just not gonna buy. I don't think I bought Vanguard actually. I think that's the only one I didn't buy. Crazy. But I will say, this engine is pretty good. The engine runs really well on your PC, and it's just not that bad for playing. It runs really well even on my PC that's a little outdated. Well, more than little, but still. My PC's kind of optimized, so it's not the best, but it's not the worst. But it runs really well. I think the new engine is definitely a W. If most games, or a lot of games, just switch to this engine and does it right, I think a lot of new games can be coming out that are they can play very well, even if it's AAA. But who knows? Maybe when the next Battlefield comes out, that's not absolutely dog. Well, the next time you're gonna catch me talking about a Call of Duty video is whenever the newest Call of Duty comes out, and maybe 2 years. They said they're gonna wait 2 years, but surely they're gonna wait years, right? Or when they leak Call of Duty Ghost content. Ooh, can't wait. Well, I'm gonna go in and inhale some coffee, so you guys have a lovely evening. Hater out.